Alright, so the video is recording on the phone and the video is live on Facebook. Alright guys, if you guys have been following me for some time, you've been seeing all my chalk designs, all of the fabric, silk screening and things like that I've been working on. I apologize if this tablet is so up close. I'm going to have to adjust the settings for the next live so that you can kind of see a better layout of the table and everything. So I've got the tote bag that came with the kit. I've got the stencil. There's 2 ink packets that came with the kit, and it is pumpkin pie and glittering black. So the black is going to be like a little glitter, shiny shimmer. And I'm going to go ahead and put some chalk paste in the trays, and I'm going to be using my squeegee tools. These are amazing. These do not come with the kit, and the large handle squeegee does not come with the kit, but I'm going to use these and the Magnolia scissors. You can get all of these with your subscription. If you decide to become a creator, you can get 35% off of everything that you order. So it's a really good deal if you're doing a lot of crafts and you want to continue to do this through the holidays, or if you're a reseller, if you want to resell the products, or if you want to create your own stuff and sell for the holidays or for the fall events. So I just put a little bit on here. You don't have to use a lot. And I'm going to use, let me see, I'm going to use the back of one of my old transfers to put my paste on so it doesn't leak out. And you get a generous amount of ink in all of these. Same thing with the chalk. The chalk doesn't dry out, so it's really good. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's like a charcoal gray. I don't know if you can see that. And it shimmers really good. I like that. That's cool. Each of the kits come with 1 squeegee, and then instructions, and then a QR code for the video link so that you can see how Magnolia does their project. You got the step-by-step, so you can keep these in a folder if you wanted to recreate those later. There's enough ink that you can do other projects after you get done with this one, and you can reuse the stencil as many times as you want. So I'm going to go ahead and mark the back of that stencil. That's usually the first step that we do when we get a new stencil, so that we know that the cardstock back is not where you want to restick your transfer, your stencil. You want it the shiny to the shiny, the sticky to the shiny. This cardstock, if you put it on there, it's going to ruin your stencil. So this is the, what is this? I just got some ink on here, so I need to wipe that off, or we might get ourselves in trouble. If you don't wipe the ink is permanent, so if you make a mistake, it's going to be a little bit harder to erase, not like the chalk. So I just want to clean it up because I just don't want that residue to get onto the tote bag, if possible. Okay, so we clean that off. And what we were doing is we were getting ready to write on the back. So I'm just going to put August Craft Club. That way I know that's the back of the back. And then I'm not gonna fuzz this on the fuzzing cloth because it's going on fabric. So I want a full complete stick on here. I don't want it to be like a window cling like I normally would for like wood or glass or plastic or anything like that. I want it to be a full brand new stick. And even after you wash it, I won't fuzz it if I'm going to be doing this on fabric. So I'm going to hand smooth this down first, like this. Then I'm going to take my large handled squeegee and just go from the middle out and squeegee out all of the air bubbles, because I want the screen to be fully stuck onto my tote bag or the fabric that I'm working on. So for this one, it's a nice canvas bag, so you're not going to need a lot of ink. And then now we're just going to have to design how we want this to be. We've got flowers, we've got lettering, and we've got a book underneath here. And with the squeegee tools, you can get into some of these smaller spaces. So you can see that they are angled, they're chiseled. They've got really cool shapes to them so that you can get in there and get into some of these small spaces and color the flowers differently, or however you want to do it. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got two squeegees here. I've got a black one and a green one, and that's going to be for like the larger areas. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the flowers. I'm going to go ahead and do like an orange on all of these flowers, and then we'll highlight them with a little bit of the shimmer black to give them kind of a little bit of an accent. And then you'll get to see, hopefully you'll get to see a better view. And if you can't see very well on this Facebook Live and you want to watch the replay, I'll post another replay on YouTube and on Instagram so that you can see what I'm talking about when it comes to giving them a little bit of definition. So I'm going to start with the orange. And then I'm just going to go ahead and color in these flowers. You don't have to work fast like you do with the chalk, because the ink doesn't dry as fast as the chalk. And you know what, because there's a bigger area of flowers here, I think I'm just going to use the regular squeegee and cover that area, because most of this is just going to be orange with black. I'm being very careful not to get the lettering, because I'm going to do an ombre on the letters with the orange and the black as well. So I wanted to keep that for last, but wanted to show you this technique, what I do when I want to give it a little bit more definition than just the straight on two-dimensional look. Now if you've got extra ink from your other craft club boxes, you can definitely change this up quite a bit, because I know we had some really fun colors over the summer and the spring, and all of the extras tend to stay well, you know, in their packets once you put them away. I normally just put the packets in a Ziploc bag, and I'll show you at the end what I do, just to give you an idea how you can keep this and reuse them for another project. Alright, so I've used most of this orange, and I'm going to need a little bit more down here, so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze some more out from the packet into my tray. And then finish that off. Learning how to use the squeegee is important, and it's probably going to be like your best way to manipulate that paint, move that around, because the squeegee has a beveled edge, and so you can use it like a spatula. You can use it like it's beveled. How can I say it? It's angled so that you can get in there, but when you want to push that chalk or the ink through the transfer, you want to keep your squeegee at a 90-degree angle so that you can push that in there. You don't have to push too hard because you don't want it to smear underneath with too much ink or chalk. So you just kind of go lightly and push that through the white. The white is the stencil mesh. That's the opening where you are transferring the ink over to your surface. Okay, so then I'm just taking out some of the excess. I don't know, Facebook, if you can see, if it's off camera or if you can see what I've done, but I've covered all of that flower area. And so now I'm going to work on the book. We're going to go ahead and, let's see, I'm going to clean this tool off. You can use paper towels, you can use the shop rags, you can use the Clorox wipes to clean a lot of this stuff off. So, okay, so here is the black shimmer. It's like a charcoal, looks really cool. And we're just going to go ahead and color in this book. I have noticed that with the glitter, it takes a little bit more pressure to push it through and to clean off your supplies afterward. So just keep that in mind if you are using the shimmer ink or the shimmer chalk paste. If you haven't tried the chalking before, I would say start chalking first before you do the ink and get the technique down so that you know what to expect with your tools and how to handle the stencils, how to wash them, all of that, and then slowly graduate over to the ink. And you'll just find it a little bit more rewarding than just going at it with the ink and then you know, just doing trial and error, because you're going to have to practice on some fabric and then wash your stencil and then start over again. And you know, sometimes you don't have a lot of time, so once you learn the technique, then all of this just becomes second nature. And it's cool, it's fun. I've been doing this for about 7 years now, and it's been really cool and very rewarding. Okay, so the book is done. It's just going to be one color. Now we are going to take the rest of this and just maybe kind of go through some of these flowers and add just a little bit of glitter, and I'm hoping that it'll go through. Since I've already put some ink down, I'm just hoping that it'll kind of like blend in, and it's gonna look kind of messy on your stencil, but don't worry, because we're gonna go ahead and lift that up, and that the color is only gonna go through where that mesh is meeting the fabric. You can do the same technique if you're doing kind of like steampunk or vintage look on your art pieces. If you want to take some keys and you want to make them, you know, more antique-like, it's the same technique. You're just going to take your gold and then you're going to take black ink, not necessarily the shimmer, but the black, and you're going to rub around the edges of your keys and whatever designs you want to make look antique and vintage, and then it's going to turn out a really cool old styled looking feel to it. So yeah, I think it's fun. It's really cool. So I don't know, just went ahead and touched up on some of the flowers, not all of them, just some. Since they only gave us the orange and the shimmer black to work with, just get a little bit creative. You know, you can just go 1 or 2 colors. You don't have to mix, you don't have to do ombre, but I just wanted to give it a little bit of a different flair to show you what you can do with this ink. So this is what it looks like, Facebook. Okay, looks like a mess, but it's gonna be okay because you can see through the stencil. You can see where the flowers are, and you can kind of gauge like where the shadows would be, or you know, where the middles are. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the lettering, and I think we'll start with the bottom here. We're gonna do the bottoms. The half of these are gonna be the shimmer black, and then the tops are going to be the orange. And this is the ombre technique. And you don't need a lot of ink for sure. All right, so I'm gonna stop there, and then I'm gonna do the orange with the squeegee. A little too much right here. I'll try to pick that up. And then I'll take my finger, and we're just gonna go light circles to mix the two colors together. You don't have to press too hard because it's already going to be going through that mesh. We're going to do the same thing on the top side, so I'm going to flip this over. Try not to get any ink anywhere else. And then we'll do the same thing. So we're going to do black on this bottom part of the letters and orange on the top part of the letters. What's different about the ink is that when you get done with inking your project, what you want to do is let it dry for 24 hours and then heat press it with a Cricut heat press. You can press it for 30 seconds on both sides, the front and the back, at 305 degrees Fahrenheit, and it'll bond itself to the fabric, and and then you'll be ready. I mean, you can make a whole bunch of these. You can kind of like batch out a bunch of these tote bags in a weekend and ink them, let them dry, and then you can go ahead and heat press the next day. So if you want to know how to batch a whole bunch of these without having to wash your stencil every time, send me a message, put it in the DMs or whatever, and I will show you how I do it. And it's a very quick and easy way. You just need one more item to use so that you can kind of like lift and go, lift and go, lift and go, so you don't have to wash these all the time. So, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and reveal this to you. And we're gonna go ahead and start at one of the corners. And we're just gonna peel back, and you're gonna see how cool this whole thing turned out. So you can see the ombre, you can see some of the flowers have some definitions. And there it is. So what happens with this is that I take it over to the sink and just run it through some cool water, and it washes right off, so you don't really have to do a lot. But if you really want to clean them, you can use like a Mr. Clean eraser, one of our board erasers. So give me just a second. I'm going to go ahead and dry that, wash that off and just hang it to dry, and then I'll be right back. I'm going to wash my hands and just hang tight. Take a look at the design. Let me know what you think, and then I'll answer any questions that you might have. All right, so that didn't take very long to wash that off. And so here is a close-up of the flowers, and then a close-up of the lettering. It's just really cool. So you can do a lot of things. You can ombre with 3 colors. You can do, you know, just about anything when you're doing like sweatshirts and things like that. You can do that half and half look, and it looks really cool. I did notice that down here the letters didn't transfer so great, and that's probably because I didn't put enough pressure on there. And so that's okay, and that's kind of like in the middle, so just add a little bit more, and then just press down with your squeegee or with your tool, with your squeegee tool. But basically that's all you need. What doesn't come in the kit is a sticky mat. It's an ink mat that goes inside. So I have the ink mat in here that keeps the fabric stable so that it's not moving around, it's not buckling up, you know, when it's freshly out of the bag. You know, you might have a little bit of creases in here. And so if you don't iron all your things out, it's a good idea to have that sticky mat. And then again, I had the squeegee tools that were not included in the Craft Club kit, the scissors, all of that. You can get those when you become a member, or you can just become a regular customer and order everything at retail. But if you want to get the discount, it is 35%, so it's a generous discount that if you're a crafter, you know, I would recommend, you know, getting more information about becoming a creator. And just send me some information if you want to you know, check it out and let me know. But again, this is the Magnolia August Craft Club kit, and it was the tote bag with the 12x12 stencil and the 2 inks, and then the squeegee that came with it. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm gonna check real quick and see if anybody posted anything. I see a few people online right now. I'm video recording for Instagram and YouTube, so just let me know what you think about this project. Let me know if you'd like to see a different type of project. I will be doing more wood burning projects coming up in the next I would say probably the next 8 to 10 weeks. Start seeing some of those videos posted, and if you have any questions on the type of supplies that I use, I'm using my own supplies that I create, as well as Magnolia's stencils to create a lot of the wood burning designs. So, all right, guys, well, thank you for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next month with our next craft club. Let me know if you want an invitation to it before I start it. I'm gonna go ahead and fix this this view for Facebook, so hopefully we'll have a better view, and then it won't be reversed for you. All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Thanks.